Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 141. I'm Connor Murphy here with Grace Matthews. Hi, Grace. How you doing?
Doing great.
Good.
It is sunny and nice here today.
We haven't seen the sun in probably over a week. We've had basically hurricanes hitting us every weekend or every night over the weekend. So it's
kidding?
No, it's been a stormy one here. Lots of sideways rain. And a lot of the city here was without power for almost a whole day. So, yeah, it's been windy and wet. Yeah.
So, crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy weather, and everybody will say that global warming is the cause.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, but I'm not sure there's much we can do about it. Mother Nature has a mind of her own.
Yeah, this time of year, actually, this happens quite often. I don't know where the storms, I think, start as tropical storms, and they just spin off from some tropical rotation in the Pacific, and it just throws storm after storm at us for days. So this is pretty much a yearly thing.
Oh, my. Well, speaking of yearly thing, about a year ago, we did an episode, and I believe the title was something to the effect, Will General Flynn Fold to Save Junior?
Right.
His son.
Yes.
And it was actually one of our more popular episodes.
I remember, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think after the hearing today with the judge, we can pretty much assume that is damn well what happened.
Oh?
Okay. So, General Flynn goes to the hearing before the judge today, believing he is going to be sentenced. He wants to be sentenced.
Right.
Now, rewind just a little bit. About last Friday, we learned that the special counsel suggested that General Flynn not get any prison time. Okay. Because he had cooperated with the special counsel.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Now, in the midst of this, the judge asks for certain documents because he's really not understanding what the general did wrong. He knows the general has pleaded guilty.
But he doesn't know what he did wrong. Okay.
Yeah, and so today in court, after a little bit of a back and forth, the judge says, I have never sentenced a man that was not guilty. And I don't intend to start now.
Oh, interesting.
And he kept trying to get Flynn to, take back his plea. Flynn won't do it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this is in the meantime, overnight, they send out this 302. It suggests that the procedure that took place back in January of 2017, when they questioned General Flynn, was flawed.
Oh, okay.
Okay? A little bit of, deception going on.
All right.
Because normally when the FBI wants to tax somebody in the White House, they get with White House counsel, they set up the circumstances. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. There are perimeters. Then whoever's answering the question gets to have, an attorney present.
Right.
Which is always a good idea because you cannot lie to these dudes. You lie to these dudes and you get Martha Stewart treatment. We really needed Martha to go to jail. She was such a...
Yeah, she was so dangerous. Had to take her off the street.
What a threat to society. But we can use her as an example because we know what happens. If you're going to take Martha Stewart off the streets for a while, you take pretty much anybody.
Well, she does kind of hang out with Snoop Dogg a lot. Don't they have that cooking show together?
They do. They do. That's a crack up. Yeah. But anyway, so this 302 comes out, and not only did it prove that protocol wasn't followed, it also was written 7 months after the incident. You're supposed to write it within 5 days because the human mind is flawed.
Yeah. Oh,
after a while, you start forgetting stuff, okay? Now, over the weekend, Comey, because Comey was in charge when this all went down,
right,
was questioned. You know how he likes to get out on those talk shows. And he said he didn't really feel like he had to follow protocol at that time.
Oh.
Because it was the Trump administration. He feels so entitled.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Did he change his last name to Clinton?
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
I mean, not since, and even the Clintons, even though we know they feel like they're above the law and they're entitled, they're not so, I don't know. He talks about it.
Yeah.
Very openly. Even the Clintons don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got loose lips, that's for sure. It almost sounds like he was tasked by the Clintons in this case, or told to do something.
He did. He is one of the ones that had no money when he wrote this book. And before the book was finished, he had 10, 12 million in his bank account.
Go figure that out.
Everybody that passes, crosses path with the Clintons ends up with 10, 12 million. It's got me wondering how I can cross paths.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well,
this guy is so delusional about himself and how the rules are different for him.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised that Flynn's lawyers didn't attack some of these points that the judge has to bring up. Where was he?
I am too. I don't know, but the judge, even though Flynn really wanted to be sentenced today, the judge didn't do it. Now, Flynn is also going to testify about a couple of old cohorts who were working for Turkey, which is not illegal, but they didn't register.
Right.
That is illegal in some circumstances. I mean, everybody thinks that that's really cut and dry. Okay, if you're working for a foreign government, you have to register. No, only if you're doing certain things for a foreign government. So it's not as cut and dry as the media is trying to make it seem, so that these guys seem like treasonous.
Right, exactly.
It's not, as with many laws in the United States of America, it's gray.
Right.
It's just detailed and complicated, and in this circumstance, yes, in this one, no. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Could
write a movie around that.
Well, yeah, because the judge went through these points one by one, and he can't figure out what Flynn has done wrong.
Yeah. Do you
what
see
he's
a problem?
pleading guilty to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of hazy things, but because of the way it was handled, not necessarily obvious.
Yeah.
And I agree with the judge. Before you sentence someone, you really want to know what you're sentencing them about.
Yeah, if the judge can't understand it, who the hell else can?
Well, the only thing I'm wondering is, did Junior do something really bad?
Well,
you know what I mean? I don't know about Junior. I do know that Junior's name was thrown out there. What better way to get to a parent than through a child? I've always said that's exactly what they're going to do to Trump.
Yeah, never know. Never know. I wouldn't put it past anyone.
Yeah, and judges are getting very, very boisterous lately because there's upheaval, and the sides are on polar opposites. There's no meeting in the middle. And a Texas judge has ruled Obamacare unconstitutional.
Oh, okay.
Now, this was thrown around for a while before they passed it into law. You cannot mandate somebody buy a product in the United States, you can't say, well, everybody's got to buy a Maytag washer.
Right.
Okay, that's illegal.
Okay.
But Obama really wanted to mandate health insurance. Okay, so you buy it or you get fined, which they figured out how to do that.
Yeah. Come to think of it, he's totally right. You should have the right to reject whatever is put in front of you, especially when you got to pay for it.
Well, the Obama administration tied it to a tax, made it a tax, which is illegal. Okay, but a year ago, the Republicans took away the mandate.
Right. Okay.
It's no longer tied to taxes.
Okay.
So this judge is exactly right. It's now definitely unconstitutional. I mean, before making it a tax was a little shady to most people.
Right.
At least most people on the right. So this is going to be the battle royale. In the meantime, they say that everybody's insurance is safe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So
I would be worried if I was you. Yeah.
So we will see what happens, but judges are definitely coming out and taking a stand.
Well, someone has to.
Yeah, well, Nancy has taken a stand too. Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, boy.
Now, of all things, she got on to the media the other day. She said, you need to quit covering Trump, quit covering the impeachment of Trump, and start covering real issues. Now, you got to remember, this is the left.
Yeah, okay.
She said, I believe your viewership will be better. Well, we know that's not the truth because you mentioned Trump's name and you got viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're doing it.
She's just jealous. She wants FaceTime. Yeah.
For sure.
And the problem there is when she speaks, the camera crew's got to change batteries 5 times before she's done speaking. That's the truth.
Well, she's not the only one speaking at the 11th hour. She's still got to be voted in a speaker.
Yeah, well.
After the new year.
You can tell she's not my favorite person.
No, she's not your favorite person. But remember Claire McCaskill?
Yes.
She gets beat by Josh Hawley. She made a speech the other day saying that she's really kind of mad at her party, and I think she views it, the midterm election and her loss, to the fact that her party, I don't know, hurt her.
Okay.
And one thing she mentioned was how they are attacking white men.
Yeah.
And she said that white men have basically left the party. Now, I agree with her. She was an attorney general in Missouri.
I think I
agree
with that. Yeah, I think I agree.
She had a lot of white men. Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree with her. Had she given this speech before the election, Josh Hawley wouldn't have beat her.
Huh. Yeah.
And I can say that with confidence.
Yeah. But there was no way in the world she was going to, give that speech while she was running. There was no way.
No, Nancy would have jerked the money from her.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's the problem with the Democratic Party. They're a little bit
undemocratic.
Yeah. They like a little bit of blackmail kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, it's always got to benefit them somehow. How's this going to benefit us?
You got to walk and talk the way Nancy wants you to.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, a lot of them are sick and tired of Nancy. But they won't get her out because she brings in too much money.
Oh, I'm shocked by that statement.
I guess it's Hollywood. But we do know that Pelosi will lie. She will lie her little pantyhose off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and in one way she's lying is about the wall.
Okay.
Okay? She says to the president, you don't have the votes to get it through Congress. Well, he does because it's already happened. Right. Congress already passed it. It was the Senate that didn't get it through. And that was when John McCain was in, and John McCain was voting against everything the president wanted. However, The wall is an expense, meaning it costs money. It has to be in the budget. Now, Nancy Pelosi, if she doesn't know after being there 150 years, that any issue where money has to be allocated, they have to have a supermajority, meaning 60 votes.
Right.
The president does not have that kind of majority. He's got like 51.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so she sat there in front of the cameras, said, well, he's got the majority. They just won't all vote for it. He's got a majority, but not a supermajority, and it takes the supermajority to pass the wall.
Oh, okay. Huh.
The budget for the wall.
All right.
So, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, it was a busy weekend here in Canada.
I heard. Ugh.
Yes, the yellow vests are out. So it's, not quite the same rioting that's going on in France.
Well, Canadians are nicer, and I'll get in trouble for that again.
Well, we protest on the weekends because everybody works during the week as well. So
how diplomatic of them.
Well, you got to pay taxes. You got to keep going, right? You can't just quit your job. You know,
Exactly.
you can't. We're paying, I don't know, 44% tax already. So, you got to keep working.
Yeah. Trudeau needs more money to spend. He likes to spend money.
Yeah, that he does, definitely. Did you hear that he called in some talk show hosts and pledged $50 million for women education or something like that?
No.
Yes. Yeah, that was about 2 weeks ago.
Well, you guys need to take his ink pen away from him.
He's running Canada with a blank check and a talk show host, just to impress this talk show host. Here's $50 million. Yeah.
Of Canadian money, not his own.
Not his own money, no. Of course not.
Okay.
Oh, that's all safe offshore.
Oh, yeah.
But,
so the yellow vests, what are the yellow vests, though, mad about in Canada? Taxes?
Well, yeah, multiple things. The pipeline is another one of it. Spending $4.5 billion on an old leaky pipeline that was like about 80% overinflated. Basically, we also signed border control over to the UN and their migration pact. Not immigration, migration.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's really what, started it off. And then, of course, there's the carbon tax in there and a bunch of other things. So it's kind of a blanket protest of how our government has been running Canada and trying to destroy Canada. Now they're trying to pass Bill C-51, I believe, is the name of the bill. And that would destroy about 2/3 of our Charter of Rights. So things are getting pretty serious. What concerns me is most of the protests were in the West. Didn't see a lot of protesting out East, which means people either don't care or they still are a fanboy of Trudeau, which is definitely concerning. But a lot of things have happened. Rona apparently pulled their yellow vests off their shelves, so a lot of people won't be going to Rona. So you can see
Rona is a store.
Yes, Rona is like a Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's probably not a good move.
No, not at all.
Considering most of their customers are probably a little more right-leaning, and which is kind of what the majority of probably the protesters is a little more right-leaning. CBC, which is funded by our government, our media network here in Canada.
Yeah.
They said the protests were anti-immigration, which that was not the true meaning.
Well, but if
it's
you want
anti-UN migration.
And also if you want legal migration, even in the United States, if you talk about it from a legal sense, they call it anti-immigration.
Well, we're protesting anti-UN migration.
Right.
We're all for
how
legal
many, I mean, what is your
immigration.
population going to be by the end of the year? You just basically, Trudeau just wrote a check
Yeah.
to the UN that says you can bring anybody in and we'll take care of them.
Do what you want. Yeah. Yeah. So, this is going to be ongoing. Probably take a break over the holidays, which is another Canadian thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that those protests are going to pick up in the new year. Probably every weekend, and you'll probably see them growing and growing and growing. It's pretty serious stuff. Very interesting. A lot of friends of mine started like local Yellow Vest pages on Facebook. And shortly after that, they got messages saying that they were no longer allowed to post in groups. They could only post on their own timeline with no reason, no example of why their privileges were taken away by Facebook. But so there's a lot of suppression going on here when it comes to the Yellow Vests.
I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook isn't recognized in the near future as a religion because they're God.
Yeah, well, they think they are.
Okay,
so.
I mean, they kicked off Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel's son, for 24 hours.
Yeah.
For pointing out that they needed to get revenge on whomever it was that killed 3 Israelis.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know where that's going to go. Neat part was that a lot of these groups that were popping up on Facebook over the weekend with the Yellow Vest protests, they were being joined by people in other countries across the world who were also going through their Yellow Vest protests. So it was kind of neat getting some of these other group members from other countries posting video and what's currently going on in their country. So, Canada was the most relaxed out of all of them, but, people are going out and it's cold out there, standing in -20 weather with a sign.
Yeah, we should break out in song singing Baby It's Cold Outside since that's bothering so many people.
Yeah, no kidding. No doubt.
It's become my favorite holiday song, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it on repeat the other day because I'm a rebel like that.
Yeah, I am too. One station played it for 2 hours straight, different versions. But when it's cold out there, well,
it might be a mental illness that's causing all of this.
Oh my gosh, that because really, remember back in the day? I hate it that I'm so old. I have to say back in the day, but when people had personalities, I mean, sometimes we didn't like the personalities, and they're hard-headed, they have a temper, and, he's lazy. Now we got to diagnose him. You hear everybody throwing it around.
Okay.
Bipolar this, depressed, manic depressed. Even the kids, the TV, everybody.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the old days, we took it in stride, don't make Grandpa mad, he's hot-headed. So-and-so holds a grudge. Yeah. Okay. And now we got to diagnose them.
Yeah, well, as kids, I remember being summoned to the basement.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Well, the kids all were, all the families get together. There's a whole pile of kids to the basement, and then go play in the basement. Not like that nowadays.
Oh, no. I mean, at what point can you not, why can't we be human?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's mental illness out there. Believe me, I know. I've seen mental illness before, and it's scary. But people make mistakes.
Yeah.
And certain people you just don't mess with.
Yeah, you just look the other way and keep walking.
You're not going to medicate being human out of everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes the medication doesn't work so well.
True. But you know what? People need to get themselves, if you find yourself that depressed, and especially this time of year, that shit happens, right?
Right.
So
oh, yeah.
You got to get yourself help.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do. And that is important. Yeah. But you also got to not take things so seriously. I just want to throw in the fact that, again, we see these advertisers jerking ads off of Fox and other channels because people aren't they don't really, the advertisers don't care that much what these people say, but people start raising hell on Twitter, and so they pull their ads.
Right.
That in itself is becoming a sort of censorship.
We've talked about this almost I would say once every 10 podcasts.
At least.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And I think that is giving birth to streaming. It's giving birth to, I don't know, media outlets going to their listeners and their viewers and saying, we're going to ask you to pay us directly through streaming because advertisers are going to try to dictate what we tell you.
Yeah.
So you see Fox doing it. You see the Blaze is combining with CRTV. That's Mark Levin, who is supposed to be, the great one of radio, talk radio. But we're going to see a lot more of that. And I think it is to combat this censorship. And censorship is everywhere.
Yeah,
and
it is.
The great gods of Twitter and Facebook have basically spoken, and Google,
the
Google god.
Yeah.
We are going to have to label them religions soon.
Yeah, well, we fight that censorship every time we post a title.
We do. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, they would not put our show on at all. Yeah. We had to really go in and change it. And then even after we get our shows up on the platforms, they usually will not, you can't search for them.
Right.
They
won't show in any search.
You have to go to the platform and find the show. However, if I do a book review or write an article that's non-political, that will Google. So they know what they're doing. It's not broken. It's just a matter of what they want their, customers. What the heck do you call them?
Well, they're pushing.
Not really buying anything.
Not only are they pushing their own propaganda, but they're trying to instill their own corporate beliefs or reap corporate benefits off the people thinking one way or another, and they're going to do everything in their power to sway those viewers, listeners out there. So
for the third time in this episode, I'm going to say that's how we define a religion.
Yeah, there you go.
What you just said right there is a religion.
Pretty much. I'd have to agree there.
Praise the Google. Praise Facebook. Praise Twitter. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, and we don't always agree, but life's a journey and we're all in this together. Thanks for listening. Godspeed, Goner, and Godspeed to all of our friends out there.
Godspeed, Grace, and thanks for listening.